what do you do in a flower garden bed that is overrun with Bermuda grass or nutsedge? Well, if you're looking at this garden here, there's some wonderful perennials: Rudbeckia, Echinacea, plumbago, hardy plumbago, the white Shasta daisy. But a couple things can happen in your garden. Many of our lawns have what we call Bermuda grass growing in them. And the Bermuda grass is going to slowly spread into your flower bed. The other thing that's very important when you're starting new flower beds, make sure weeds like thistle, Bermuda grass, nutgrass are completely killed. Even if you put a weed barrier over that, what you're going to find is where the plant is planted, the weeds are going to come up through the plants and spread. So let me just show you here on the ground what I'm talking about in the way of Bermuda grass. So Bermuda grass has very long growths like this, and I will tell you, if you try to hoe or pull the Bermuda grass, you're going to get 5 times as many of them. They're going to produce a lot more shoots, and it's going to come in like a lawn. So if you look here, you can see some of the Bermuda grass coming up through the weed barrier. So weed barriers are not foolproof. And Bermuda grass will poke right through the weed barrier. Another kind of difficult plant, or weed rather, to control is nutsedge. And nutsedge produces little baby bulbs at the base, and it slowly spreads. So what I'm going to do is give you a couple ideas. As always, read the label on all the chemicals that you use. But I am going to use a chemical to try to control some of the nutsedge without harming the plants. So right here is Rudbeckia, beautiful plant. So how would you treat, and I've come up with a couple ingenious ways, but how would you control the nutgrass that's coming up around this beautiful Rudbeckia? So again, you don't want to break these stems. I've tried a couple things, but I do find that sometimes you can pull the Bermuda grass out from the Rudbeckia, just gently without breaking it. And then you take a pot and you completely cover your desirable foliage on your favorite plant. Like this. And then I can come around and spray these weeds without hurting the plant. I do make mistakes. One mistake was I left the pot out the following day, and the sun cooked the plant. So being a dark or black pot, you want to remove it so you don't cook your plants. So what do you do in other areas here? Well, I came up with another idea. You can use upside down trash cans to protect and make sure that there is a solid. So if you're going to protect this plant, you want to make sure you completely protect it like this. But a better idea than that is to come in with cardboard. And this is great. So what I'm going to do is come in here around this Shasta daisy. And come around the plant like this to protect the plant from spray. The other thing I do, and sometimes you can go ahead and completely go around the plant, and then you can tape, which I'll show you in a minute, the cardboard together. But what I'm going to do here is gently reach in and pull the wiregrass out just like this. And when I spray, it's going to go all the way into the roots and kill the Bermuda grass while protecting my plant. These cardboard things are great. If you have short plants, you can take something like this. And what you're going to do is completely go around your plants, and you're going to make this cardboard just as small as possible, like this. And then I'm going to pull the weeds out from under the cardboard. Then I'm going to spray. I'll get one more here. Because if you were to spray this, normally there's a high degree or probability that you're going to end up hurting or getting spray on your desirable plants. So again, you're going to go in and pull. So here are the plants protected, but then I'm going to reach down and pull. Sure. And what I've got in my backpack is a yellow nutsedge control, and then I'm also using glyphosate, which is a total weed killer, but doesn't work for nutsedge. You want to make sure you spray on a day that's not too windy, and what I have here is a fan jet nozzle. It's not a flower nozzle, and so I'm just going to come in here now. I pumped that up a little too much. You want to pump it so it's not misting. So I'm going to come in and spray these weeds. This tree is dead. This here, which I've done videos on, It was called the tree from heaven, but it's really, I consider, the tree from hell, and it pops up all over in the garden. So I'm gonna come right here and spray these weeds. This is about the right, and you don't want to overdo it. When you're spraying weed killers, you don't want to drench. You just want to spray the weeds that are there. So I'm going to come in here. And you're going to look at this and you're going to go, is that really going to work? Well, let me show you how well it works. And sometimes the weed killers work better if the soil is moist or you've had rain. But let me show you how well this worked on other areas of the garden. Another example on possibly how difficult it can be to spray. Look at these beautiful hydrangeas and look at all the weeds that are coming up in and around the hydrangeas. Now, I wrapped these plants with cardboard the other day and sprayed, and you can see here that the nutsedge and the Bermuda grass is completely dying without hurting the boxwood or some of the other desirable plants. Over here is a great example of protecting the plants, and you can see what a great job right here of controlling the Bermuda grass around the holly and around these other plants. Now, I mentioned I did make a mistake the other day, and right here I left the pot over some of these asters, and the sun got hot, and I always learn something a little new, and it kind of cooked these plants. So hopefully they're going to come back. But again, follow the label directions, and you can, and it's probably going to take 2 or 3 additional minor applications to make sure I control all of this. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.